Welcome. Begin in Balasana in Child's Pose. Spread your knees wide. Release your backside to your heels. Lower your forehead down to the mat. Bring your arms out in front of you and your fingertips to touch. Begin to cultivate a deep, smooth, rhythmic breath in and out the nose. Inhale, expand your belly with your breath. Feel your heart lift. Exhale slowly and smoothly out the nose. Inhale into your low back, your middle back, the back of the heart. Exhale slowly and smoothly out the nose, melting. Continue this deep, rhythmic breath throughout the practice. If thoughts, physical sensations, sounds, or other distractions pull your attention away from the breath, simply gently return your focus to your slow, deep breathing in and out the nose. We will hold each pose for between 2 and 5 minutes. Allow your body to gently melt to its edge and then become very, very still. Slowly press into your hands, moving like honey so as not to disturb your nervous system. Bringing your left foot in between your hands. Bringing your left knee directly over the left ankle. Bringing your hands to the inside of your left foot. Press the top of your right foot down into the mat. Look forward, creating a long spine. Focus on your deep, slow breath, and when you are ready, you can stay here or in your own time, lower down onto your forearms, turning your palms up to the sky. smoothly, fluidly. If you're down on your forearms, press into your palms, pause, and on your next exhalation, begin to slowly glide your hips back towards your right heel, straightening the left leg, flexing the left toes up towards the ceiling. Square your hips to the front of the mat and lowering down all the way to the inside of your right foot. Inhale, find length in the spine. Either stay here or melt forward any amount, turning your palms up to the sky and allowing yourself to melt deeper into the pose. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can bring a cushion or a folded up blanket underneath your sitting bones to elevate the hips. On your next inhalation, smoothly glide back up to sitting with a tall spine. Then press into the palms of your hands and roll back forward to low lunge. Your left knee over your left ankle. Turn your left foot out at a diagonal towards the left corner of your mat. Inhale, expand the belly with your breath. Exhale, relaxing your jaw, your shoulders, your forehead. Inhale, take your left hand and reach back for the inside edge of your right foot. Press the foot into the hand into the foot. Spread across the chest, relaxing your shoulder blades down your back. Release the right foot, gliding your left hand back down to the mat. Take a deep breath in through the nose, bringing your left toes to point back forward, then slowly shifting the hips back. Bring your fingertips either on blocks on either side of your straightened left leg or on spider fingers onto the floor. Pull the left hip back, the right hip forward, squeezing the inner thighs in towards midline. Fold forward any amount. You can either stay here or begin to slide the left foot forward, the right hip back. You can bring a block or a blanket underneath your sitting bones. Roll the right hip forward, squaring the hips to the front of the mat, pressing actively down into the right foot, into the right thigh. There's a tendency to roll over onto the left hip. Counteract this by pressing down into the right leg. Either stay here or lower down onto your forearms, turning your palms up to the sky. Breathe deeply, slowly, and evenly in and out the nose. If you are folded forward over your left leg, on your next inhalation, rise back up and pause. Take a deep breath in, expanding your belly, your side waist, your heart lifts. Exhale, relaxing any tension in your jaw and forehead. Inhale, lift and expand across the chest. Exhale, press into the hands, lift the hips, and glide the left knee back to meet the right. Bring your knees directly underneath your hips, then glide the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Press down actively into the top of the left foot, pressing down into the mat, relaxing your shoulders down your back. You can either stay here or in your own time, lowering down onto your forearms, turning your palms up to the sky. Continue to breathe deeply and slowly in and out the nose. On each exhalation, pulling the navel in towards the spine and up. If you are down on your forearms, slowly rise back up, lengthening your spine. Relax your shoulders down your back away from your ears. Open and spread across the heart. On your next exhalation, slowly, like you're moving through honey, begin to glide the hips back towards the left heel, straightening the right leg, releasing down either onto a block, a blanket, a cushion, or the floor to the inside of the left ankle. Either stay here or in your own time, begin to fold forward any amount. Flex your right foot up towards the ceiling, pressing down with the right hamstring. Come down onto your forearms, turning your palms up towards the ceiling. Breathe into your low back, middle back. The back of the heart expands. Exhale slowly and smoothly out the nose, melting deeper. Inhale into the low back, the side waist. The back of the heart expands. Exhale slowly and smoothly, relaxing any tension in your low back. On your next inhalation, press into the hands, lift the hips, and slowly glide back forward into a low lunge, bringing your right knee directly over the right ankle. Then turn the right foot out at a diagonal, the right toes pointing towards the right corner of your mat. Press actively down into the top of the left foot, relaxing the shoulders down your back, spreading across the chest, lengthening the spine. Take a deep breath in, expanding your lungs in 360 degrees. On your exhalation, bending the left leg, reaching back with the right hand for the inside of the left foot. Inhale, find length in your spine. Exhale, twisting open, spreading across the chest. On your next exhalation, release the foot and bring your right hand back to the inside of your right foot. Gracefully lift the hips and glide your hips back over your left knee. Squeeze the inner thighs towards one another as if they're magnetized, pulling the right hip back, the left hip forward. You can bring your fingertips to the floor on top of blocks either side your right leg. Either stay here, or if you want to go deeper in your own time, glide the right foot forward, the left leg back behind you, either lowering all the way down or onto a block or rolled up blanket, squeezing actively the inner thighs toward one another, pulling the left hip forward, the right hip back, pressing actively into the left foot and the left thigh, counteracting the natural tendency to try to roll over onto the right hip. You can either stay here or slowly walk your hands forward any amount, perhaps coming down onto your forearms and turning your palms up to the sky. Continue to breathe deeply and slowly in and out the nose here, pressing down into the left leg. On your next inhalation, like you're moving through honey, glide back up, lift and expand across the chest, and exhale, pause. Inhale, press into the hands to lift the hips, bringing your right knee back to meet the left. Gliding the hips directly over the knees, walk your hands out forward, walking them so far forward that your hips remain directly over your knees, melting your forehead down to the mat. Anahata. Breathe in, press into the palms of the hands, gliding the hips down to the floor, releasing down onto your forearms, bringing your elbows directly under your shoulders. Spread your fingers, open and spread across the chest, relaxing your shoulders down your back. In this pose, you can repeat the mantra, Ananda, bliss, just internally. Ananda, Ananda. On your next exhalation, slowly start to tuck the chin in towards the chest, rolling back, bringing your hips directly over your knees, walking your hands out in front of you, spreading your fingers wide, and releasing your forehead down to the mat for Anahata. This pose is a heart opener. Inhale, tuck the chin, round the spine. Exhale, melt the forehead down to the floor. Inhale, press into the palms, tuck the chin, round the spine. Exhale, melt the forehead down to the mat. Inhale, tuck the chin, round the spine. Exhale, melt the forehead down to the mat. Inhale, round the spine, tucking the chin in towards the chest. Exhale, melt the forehead down to the mat. See what you can release. Inhale, pull the chin in towards the chest, round the spine. Exhale, release the forehead down to the mat, melt. Inhale, press into the hands, round the spine, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Exhale, melt the forehead down to the mat. Inhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Exhale, melt the forehead down to the floor. Inhale, tuck the chin, rounding the spine. Exhale, melt the forehead down to the mat, spread across the chest. Inhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Exhale, melt the forehead down to the floor. Inhale, roll the spine, tuck the chin. Exhale, release the forehead back down to the mat. Inhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Exhale, release the forehead down to the mat. Inhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Exhale, release, melt. Inhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Exhale slowly and smoothly out the nose, melt the forehead to the floor. Inhale, chin to chest, round the spine. Exhale, melt the forehead to the floor. Inhale, look forward, gliding your hips back to your heels, sitting down onto your heels, bringing your hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Inhale deeply. Exhale, walk your hands forward, bringing your left knee in between your hands. Shift the hips so you're straight on your mat. Press the top of the right foot into the mat. Lift the chest, look forward, and square the hips to the front of the mat, bringing the right hip forward, the left hip back. If you can't square your hips, bring a rolled up blanket or block underneath your sitting bones. You can either stay here or fold forward any amount in your own time, perhaps eventually bringing your forehead to melt onto the tops of your hands or all the way down to the mat. Inhale into the low back, middle back, the back of the heart expands. Exhale slowly and smoothly out the nose. On your next inhalation, gracefully rise back up. Sweep your right leg slowly around out in front of you, bringing the soles of your feet to the mat, shifting your hips forward and gliding down one vertebrae at a time onto your back. Organize your shoulders underneath you, bend your knees in towards your chest, and then lift your legs straight up towards the ceiling, your ankles directly over your hips. On every inhalation, expand your torso with your breath in 360 degrees. On every exhalation, pulling the navel in towards the spine, towards the floor. Stay here. Don't worry if your legs begin to shake. If it becomes too much, simply bend your knees in towards your chest, then re-straighten your legs in your own time. Slowly, ever so slowly, bend your knees, lowering your feet down to the mat. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, rolling over onto your right side. Inhale, exhale, press into the left palm to rise back up to sitting. Bring your left leg back behind you, bending your right knee, squaring the hips to the front of the mat, perhaps bringing a block or a blanket underneath your hips. Lift and expand across the chest, pressing down into the top of the left foot, and in your own time, folding forward any amount, perhaps coming down onto the forearms and turning the palms up to the sky, or releasing your forehead down to a block or the top of your hands. Slowly rise back up. Take a deep breath in and exhale, bringing your left leg forwards, shifting around to the long edge of your mat. Bringing your right leg bent, your right foot in towards the left knee, bending the left leg back behind you. Stretch up through the left fingertips, bringing your left arm over your left ear. Either stay up on your right fingertips or in your own time, lower down onto your right forearm. Breathe into your left hip, your left side waist. Exhale slowly and smoothly out the nose. Breathe into your left hip, your left low waist, the left ribs. Exhale slowly and smoothly out the nose, revolving your chest up towards the ceiling. Slowly, smoothly on your next inhalation, press into the right fingertips to rise back up to sitting with a tall spine. Bring your left hand to your left foot, lengthening up to the crown of your head. On your next exhalation, slowly and gracefully switch sides, bending your right knee back behind you, bringing your left foot to the inside of the right knee. Either stay here or reach up through the right fingertips, bringing the right arm over the right ear and bend over towards the left. In your own time, you can lower down onto your left forearm, stretching the right arm over the right ear, revolving the chest up towards the ceiling. Inhale into your right hip, your right low waist, the heart expands. Exhale, relaxing your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale into your right hip, your right waist, your right side ribs. Exhale, relaxing any tension in your jaw, forehead, crown of the head. On your next inhalation, rise back up slowly and smoothly to sitting with a tall spine and pause here. Continue to breathe deeply and slowly in and out the nose, pulling the navel into the spine on every exhalation. On your next inhalation, straighten the right leg and the left leg, bringing them out into a wide V, pressing forward with the hips. If you can't comfortably bring the hips down to the floor, sit up on a blanket or a bolster. On your next exhalation, walking the fingertips out in front of you, keeping a very long spine. In your own time, melting forward with a long spine, any amount. Perhaps coming down onto the forearms and turning the palms up to the sky. Perhaps melting your forehead down onto the tops of your hands, or releasing your cheek all the way down to the floor, bringing your arms out in front of you or out reaching towards your heels. On every inhalation, expanding the breath from the belly all the way up to the heart. Every exhalation melting a little bit deeper into the pose. On your next inhalation, press into the palms and rise halfway up. Pause. Inhale and slowly rise all the way up to sitting with a tall spine. Bring your hands to your heart and pause here for a moment. Exhale, using your right hand to glide your right leg forward to meet the left, extending your feet to the mat, shifting your hips and lowering down one vertebrae at a time onto your back. Pull your shoulder blades onto your back, then slowly bend your knees into your chest and extend your feet once more up towards the ceiling. On every inhalation, expanding the breath into the belly. On every exhalation, pull the navel down towards the spine, towards the floor. If this becomes too much, simply bend your knees for a moment. Then in your own time, re-straighten your legs. On your next exhalation, slowly, ever so slowly, bending the knees with control, bringing the soles of the feet back down to the mat. Straighten your legs out long, then bring your right ankle out at a diagonal. Cross your left ankle over the right. Reach your arms up and clasp opposite elbows above your head. Then bring your right elbow towards your right ankle. Allow your left hip to grow heavy, efforting down towards the floor, coming into a banana-like shape with your body. Inhale into your left hip, your left side waist, your heart expands. Exhale slowly and smoothly, melting into the pose.
On your next exhalation, release the left foot to the mat, pressing down into your feet to shift your hips over to the right. Then extending your left leg out long at a diagonal, crossing your right ankle over the left. Clasp opposite elbows above your head, bringing your left elbow towards your left ankle, creating a banana-like shape with your body and allowing your right hip to grow heavy, falling back down towards the floor. Inhale into your right hip, your right side waist, the heart expands. Exhale slowly and smoothly out the nose, melt deeper. On your next exhalation, release the pose. Bring your hips forward so that you're in one straight line. Extend your legs. Organize your body so completely in Shavasana that everything becomes still.
can either continue to rest here for as long as you like, or roll over onto your right side. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Then in your own time, pressing into the palm of your left hand to slowly rise up to sitting. Cross your legs. Bring your hands to your heart. Wishing you radiant joy and health from my heart. Namaste.